My name is Brandon from LePannyTechnologies.com, and we are a company that specializes in social networking, SEO, content creation, and web development. And this video today, we are going to go over Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is an app that's available for both iPhone and Android, and as well as iPad. And it's mostly available for anything. You can also go to just Google's website on your computer if you want it, but the app is pretty neat. Today in the app, we're going to go over creating the reports. Now, there's a lot of things that the app does, obviously, here. But for right now, we're just doing reports. So for reports, there's a lot of things you can do here with reports. I personally like looking at some of the reports on time, meaning the page tracking and the time people are spending on your site. Very important. The longer people are staying on your site, the better it is for your site, better it is for SEO, and all that. What you can do here is, especially page views. So if you click on page views, and you can generate a report on page views. Now, what's kind of cool here is if you hit on the top button here, you can compare last 30 days, this month, last month, compare previous months, compare day, week, month, custom settings as well if you wanted to. So there's a lot you can do in there. But for the last month, so page views, this is a test domain I have for this. But this is, so per page views, we have 220. Over time. So we're actually, according to this, we're actually down a little bit from last month. But, again, you can see how the metrics would be very, very handy. Some other things as well with reports. Some other things I like to do is bounce rate. Bounce rate is actually really important because what bounce rate does, it tells you how many people come to your site that bounce and how soon they bounce right off. In this case, you can see the bounce rate is actually pretty high because it's only a test domain. But the lower this number is, the better. So some other things as well. Hit count, obviously very important. How many people are hitting your site. That's actually really important to know. Some other things that you can run here as well. Session duration, how long are people staying on your site. What page is spending the most time in. So my average time on site right now is about a minute and 10 seconds, which isn't overly bad enough for a test domain, but obviously could be better. But that's how long they're saying. One thing you want to do too is when you come down here, average time on screen is important to know how many times time on screen, how long they're staying at a specific page. Page tracker entrances, need to know what page they're coming in on. So when the entrances over time, 153 entrances, but there's also a report on here as well, which I can't find at this particular moment, but there's a page which tells you what page actually came in on, which is actually really important to know what pages people are on the longest. Is actually really important. Here for me, the average person's about for a page and a quarter, a little less, but you can see about 2 pages or so, 4 pages sometimes. That's the amount of pages they hit before they leave the site. Like I said, average session duration. That's how many times, you can see people have stayed on longer than others. I do have a couple podcasts or two and a few videos on here, so that's the other reason why people could drag it out. That's really important too. If you have a site that people are bouncing within like a couple seconds, you can add polls, you can add blogs, you can add a lot of other things, videos, podcasts, all that stuff to drag out their duration time. If they're only staying on your site a couple seconds, very important there. Some of the other things as well you can do on here. It's really important to know. Obviously page views, time on page, we talked about that. Organic search is actually really important. So I have 65 organic searches for the site so far. That's really, really important to know. Organic search versus paid search, very important to know. Also too, and the reason why that's important, by the way, I do want to mention, obviously, organic search obviously is free, where paid search and AdWords you're paying for. I don't have any AdWords here or DoubleClick traffic campaign yet, but, there are, if you have paying for it, you can track it with this app. You have e-commerce stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can track on here. I don't particularly have all this stuff. AdSense stuff you could track, AdExchange, internal searches. If you have people that are searching internally on your site, you can track that as well. You can also monitor your social media interfaces, your social activities you can monitor. Site speed is pretty cool. Depending on how much stuff, like if you just think of one average paid load time in seconds, and this is kind of neat, I'll tell you, 0 seconds. So it's actually, my site's actually pretty fast, but you can see at times there was 5 seconds of that when I was working on the site. You definitely don't want people to wait forever for your site to open up. That's not good to use either. Domain lookup time, DNS, all that stuff. There's a lot of important metrics in here. People don't realize if your site loads really slow, the odds of chance people waiting are probably slim to none. They're probably just going to click off. That comes into your bounce rates and all that kind of stuff. So obviously speed metrics, redirects. If you have redirects going on, it's important to monitor. Crashes, if your site crashes. Social media hubs. Time after search. So if they search and they go to your site, how much time they're spending after search. There's a lot of really, really in-depth stuff that Google tracks that could be very important for anybody who is obviously doing anything with SEO. But these are just the reports. As you can see, there's a lot of other things we're going to talk about with this app. Obviously, real-time overview, audience acquisitions, all that stuff. We're going to go over all that. But for right now, we're just going over dashboard. So I want to thank everybody for watching. And again, you can catch all of our videos on our YouTube page. Feel free to subscribe. And as well, you can find out all of our services at LePannyTechnologies.com. Thank you.